Happy Saturday. I am just cutting, I basted my exterior fabric to some flex Bayani foam. I'm just cutting it out. Hi, Deb. Hey, Cassandra. Oops, let's not lose pieces. I'm just cutting out my exterior. I machine basted it, the foam, Bayani soft and stable foam, to my exterior fabric, but I forgot to cut it out. So that is what I'm doing. One second, because I think I just need, I forgot the pattern pieces, which have where to place the purse feet. Okay, so it looks like we're all here. Have your book, have your pattern piece F out, because on the bottom it has where the purse feet go. So that's going to be kind of important. So, Criss Cross bag. So I'm going to roughly recap what all happened yesterday with the cutting, because unfortunately, for whatever the reason may be, hi TT, the video of me cutting out the fabric is completely off of Facebook. We don't know why. Lizzie looked into it, Samantha was looking into it, and I believe Lizzie even created a ticket, and I can't retrieve it from anything. Like, there's no record of me having a carbon footprint in Facebook after May the 5th, so it just may be a glitch. So I'll just roughly say what we did yesterday. We cut out all the pieces. You have your two exterior pieces. I'm sorry, that string was going to irritate me. I apologize. You have two exterior pieces, and I'm using like a waterproof cotton, and you're going to have your two lining pieces that were cut on the dotted line. And I'm using an acrylic cotton from Emmeline. Hi. And Emmeline put in their description that this is like a really good lining fabric, because it is a little bit thicker than quilting cotton, and it's not waterproof but water resistant. You can just wipe it clean. And you could put light heat on the back, but that's it. And then we have these are be the top of your inside of your lining once we construct the bridge. And this is the bridge, and what I did is I glued some sew fuse to the back, because again, this is like waterproof. So you couldn't really, and the glue didn't stick all the way. I should have machine basted it, but I can still do that because I can't put heat. So you have all your pieces out. You should have 4 bridge pieces, 2 being the color of your outer fabric and 2 being the lining fabric. Then we have 2 slip pockets, as well as a hidden zipper pocket that is 3 folds. A top piece and a bottom piece for the lining. the zipper lining, and then a facing piece so that it can be really good, nice and hidden, and it gives it a really cool, clean zipper finish. So I'm going to take a note out of Monica's book, and I am going to actually stitch my strap first. As you can see, I'm on my brother's domestic. I sew with a lot of different machines. I've sewn on this machine before in the sibling company, Swoon, and I wanted to sew here because I think sometimes a lot of people believe that they can't make really great bags unless you have a industrial, and that's not the case. For the first part of my business, for like 3 years of my business, I used nothing but this. I still use this. If you follow me on Instagram, a lot of my reels are my 2 youngest children in class, and I'm sewing on this machine. It's a Brother NQ 3500D. I have a Smith's Microtex needle in my thing 9014. So this, I didn't do the measurements in the pattern because I don't have 1 1/4 inch hardware. However, with that being said, Emmeline does carry it, and I used it in the Dainty Day Tripper, and I wish I would have ordered it for this bag. I really like this hardware at that, because it's that in between where 1 inch feels really small, but 1 1/2 inches feels too big. It's like that just right. It's an awesome one. So what I'm going to do is the pattern calls for you to take your width, and then it has a certain length that it gives you. It's generally the standard length of a crossbody strap. It could be anywhere from 42 to 60 inches, and you're going to do your strap, and I'm going to I'm not going to put strap ends on these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a technique where I kind of you fold in the fabric, and you fold in the fabric in 1/2 of an inch, and you just like top stitch it all the way around, and you're not losing that much of fabric, and it helps with the bulk. But right now I'm going to cut off the 6 inches that I need for the strap, for the straps, because I'm just going to top stitch the straps, and I just marked it with my clip where the 6 inches were. I couldn't use heat on this, so I rolled it, and then I left clips in overnight. Oh yeah, we had a hellstorm for like 15 minutes, and we were it's pretty intense over here. So with the top stitching, I like, my personal preference for top stitching is like 3.5. And I'm just going 1/8 of an inch. I do have like little wasabi tape here to mark my 3/8 of an inch, because that is the measurement. That's the that is a seam allowance, and it's easier for me on this machine just to mark it, because it has a 1/4 and a 5/8, but not a 3/8 of an inch. I'm cutting off all the strings. So I have my strap. It's just one piece right now, and when we get to it, I'll cut it in half. Just put that right there. So what I'm going to do is first get my little clip bag so I can stick all my clips in there. I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch tape. I'm going to open up my my 4-inch wide strap. And I'm just going to take a little piece of tape and I'm going to put it at the top. Just finger press that real good so that you get all sticky. And I'm just going to press this down. And then I'm going to fold it back up on itself. And now it's just a very super clean finish. I'm going to stick another clip on it so until I sew it, it doesn't open. Because I didn't have it, I can't iron this fabric, it wants to open all the time. Same thing, I'm going to open it up. Take a little bit of tape, double-sided tape. It's 1/8 of an inch. And I'm putting it at the very top of my bag strap. Just at the very, very top. It's kind of hard to see because the interfacing is white. And it did not stick. Hold on. Some tapes stick better than others. I believe this 1/8 I got off of Amazon. I like it because it's not too sticky where it's stuck to my skin. There's situations where I want super sticky tape, like if I'm working with vinyl and I don't want to have clip prints, then I'll use it. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that all my ends are tucked in really good. I usually like to pin when I work with cotton. And I'm at a 3.5 stitch length still. I'm going to back stitch. And let's see. Take your time. And when you get to the end, you pivot and you're going to go 1/8 inch down. I can do one more stitch. And try the best, try to have your bobbin and your top thread the same color. Or what I like to do is, like, if the lining's different color, then I'll put the bobbin the same color as the lining, vice versa. I find like the Brothers sewing machine is louder than my industrial to me. When you get to the bottom, just make sure your needle goes in the needle down position. couple stitches. I can do one more stitch. I always do that. And I'm going 1/8 of an inch. My foot on my brother's sewing machine has like a 1/4 and a 1/8 of an inch mark, and I'm just like following it. It's funny because this machine doesn't go very fast to me anymore, but when I first got it, I had my Abuelita Singer, and it was like so slow, and I thought this was like the fastest machine in the world at the time. I'm using 40 weight polyester thread, Saba thread from Waywack, and I'm going just to snip my threads. Why did I bring these big scissors after that? And I also can just burn the ends. It's cotton, so just be really careful. Like just barely, I'm having the flame flicker and it's going really fast, and I'm not trying to set my cotton on fire or myself on fire. So we have a strap, and I have like this, it's an off black, looks kind of like a dark gray, and that's the thread I'm using. So we have our strap. Put this right here, and that's start. So we already stabilized everything. I used Sew Fuse on the pockets for the exterior pockets, and I have an acrylic cotton for the lining, so it doesn't need stabilizing. The first thing we're going to do is do our hidden pocket. So you're going to grab one of your lining pieces, and you're going to grab all 3 H pieces. So I have H3, H2, I know I see H1 around here. And H1. Okay. So what we're going to do is H1 is we're going to make it an 8-inch box. I'm sorry, H1 we're going to make this is a zipper facing. We're going to make it 8-inch long. 8 inches long and place it at the bottom edge. We're going to place it 9 inches from the bottom edge. Let me see if I can move this so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to find my center. And while I'm here finding it, I'm going to also mark it on the top and the bottom. So I have a nice crease, and we're going to go 9 inches. The bottom edge. just 3 1/4. Okay. So I'm going to find my center on my pocket panel piece. I'm just going to mark it with a crease. And I'm going to move the book slightly to the other side. I'm just measuring 9 inches up and making sure that it's equal on all sides. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is grab 2 pins, and I'm going to use silk pins. They're very thin. They're meant for really delicate fabric, so I won't see a hole. You can use like the Sew Tights, and there are little magnetic strips, and they work fabulously. I love them, but I have them across the room right now. So that is not going to work for me. Let's see. 4. I'm just going to double check that it's 9 inches again. That whole measure once scenario, I mean measure twice scenario, and it is. Okay, so with this pocket, we're going to do an 8-inch long pockets, and we're going to do the hidden pocket that is on page 32. So we have, what we're gonna do is draw the box. The box is going to be a 1/2 inch. What I'm going to do is this box is exactly, alright, I'm going to go in 1.5 inches on both sides. And this is a friction highlighter, so once I place a little steam on it, the lines are going to just disappear. And I'm going up a 1/2 inch. All right, so I'm going in instead of 1 inch each way, a 1/2 inch up on both sides, and then I'm doing a 1/2 inch X to know where I'm going to clip into. So I'm going to show you. So I went in 1 inch on both sides, or you can do like I did 1.5 inch and then a 1 inch line. So that from here to here is the 8-inch zipper box, but this line right here is basically showing where I'm going to do clip into the sides. It just, when I don't draw that 1/2 inch on each side, for some odd reason, I always mess up on my clipping. So I always draw my 1.5 inches inwards, and then draw another line at 1 inch, and then I went halfway, a 1/2 inch in, 1/2 inch up, and that's how you got your 1/2 inch box. From this part to this part where the X's are is exactly 8 inches, but it just helps with me visually to know where I'm going to be cutting into. So I'm going to change my stitch length to, I personally like having my stitches at a 2. Everybody has something different. You got to find what works really well for you. Some fabrics I do a 2.5, but it all just like, it depends on the material and whatnot. Make sure you back stitch and you just follow that line. Take your time and remember to breathe. Also, that when I make the 1 inch and the 1/2 inch, it reminds me at that 1/2 inch part to start slowing down, because I only have a 1/2 inch before I have to pivot or do one more stitch. Let's see. And then go up. I sometimes count my stitches going up, because I've noticed that if I have like 6 stitches on one side and then like 5 on the other, it looks weird. You take these silk pins out, put them back in there. They're sharp too. Put them back in their little folder thing. Snip some threads. And I'm going to make a clip in. I just try to have this as straight as possible, and then do a clip. And then I just open it up. And I'm right here at the 1/2 inch, and I see where the center of my X is, and then I can just use caution and snip as close as I can to the threads without actually cutting them. And then I repeat on the second side. I get like really like scissor happy, so having something visual like helps me like stop and be like, wait, am I supposed to go in that far? All right. So what I'm going to do now is not lose my pockets. I am going to take this fabric, so let me move this real quick. Take this fabric, and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of steam where the opening is, and you're going to see the marks disappear. It's like magic. All the marks. I found out that Friction has highlighters, not just pins. So I'm really excited about that. I'm lightly ironing this because this is not supposed to be only ironing on the back. So I'm pulling my pocket and just rolling that seam, and then I will iron it. Real quickly. I'll show you. I don't want to mess up the fabric, and I definitely don't want to mess up my iron. So I'm just lightly doing it. And then if I really want to get a better crisp line, I can just roll it out with a roller. Metal or wood, whatever you have available to you. And let's see. Okay. So it's not heavily pressed back here, but there's no, like, there's a little bit of puckering. If I wanted to, I can go back and snip it, but in the front, there's none. So I'm just going to leave it alone. There's none. So what we're gonna do now is do the second part, and we're going to grab our zipper and I'm going to use part of this zipper tape that I got. And we are going to sew the lining to the zipper. So what you're going to grab for is H2 and H3. H2 is the top zipper and H3 is the bottom. So what I'm going to do is, I think I wrote H2 on one of them. So what I'm going to do is, I know you could write T and B if it's easier. So that way when you're installing the zipper, you're not like, they look so similar in size. There's just a slight, difference. So let's see. Where did I put my little pen? All right, so I'm going to do the top zipper. You're going to be sewing, again, we're on page, I just had you. All my post-it notes are not helping today. All right, so we're going to be basting, per se, you're going to baste the right side to the wrong side of the zipper. So I'm going to take the top panel, H2, and I'm going to line it up where the zipper tape is showing. Clip, pin, whatever your preference is. I have zipper pulls at the end. Whenever I do zipper pulls, I usually keep the zipper closed. It's easier. I don't have to move a zipper out of the way. and then I just can pull the zipper when I'm top stitching. So just pin. Oh yeah, I have sticky notes everywhere. My husband, he okay, so I use sticky notes on the fridge. I use sticky notes everywhere. And also I don't like writing or dog-earing books. And I don't like highlighting books. I think that's the reason why I like, I have a love-hate relationship with PDF patterns, because I love books and I love the actual feel of a pattern. So like, I'm unusual like that. So we're going to baste, I believe, I'm going to baste at 1/4 of an inch. And just back stitch. So we have, see how like this is the zipper, this is the top of the zipper, and this part's going to be the bottom. And when we open it up, we're not going to see any zipper tape at all. So take H3. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line right side of the fabric to the wrong side of the zipper. You can put a few pins or clips, whatever your preference is. Some people I've seen can sew without any of them, and I'm always intrigued by them because they have like a steady hand. Yeah, so for Valentine's one year, my husband got me like a box full of Post-its, and it was like the best thing ever. I put Post-its in everything. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take, I'm going to use double-sided tape. I know sometimes double-sided tape can be, I don't want to say frowned upon, but let's say some people's machine gets gummed up really easily. I'm going to use 1/8, and I'm going to put it at the very top so that way it's not in my seam allowance, but it can help kind of just like keep the fabric in place. And I might throw a few pins in there if I don't feel like it's secure. But I think it will be secure. Braid the zipper a little bit. You just do that on the other side too. Oh yeah, I like. Oh, so yeah, Monica and I have this discussion a lot. I don't like seeing zipper tape in a pocket. And I agree with Samantha 100%. If your friends are looking inside your pocket, they're really not your friends. I agree with that. I just personally, for me, I like a clean finish to a zipper. So like when I open it up, I don't see the zipper tape. It just looks all finished. So yes, it is the same, very same style as the City Tote, because the City Tote comes from the book. So as you can see, like H2 is the top for this reason, that everything's going to line up. It's beautifully done. If you flip it, then you're going to have too much fabric on one side. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to open this up, making sure H2 is at the top. Grab my pocket and then I am going to take H2's 1/8 of an inch tape off, and I work from that first. And then I'm just like placing it on, and I will show you when I take H3's tape off. It feels like Battleship. Let's see. I was working with some double-sided tape yesterday that took my nail polish off. My nails got stuck in it, and next thing I know, I'm looking at the tape. I'm like, why is there blue in the tape? It was my nail polish. And you could just prim and prep your zipper to look how you want it. I know I picked black. I should have went with the purple. But the zipper tape is, the teeth are right there. So we are going to start from one side. And I'm going to start from the bottom because my zipper pulls are on the other side and I don't want to mess with them. You can do your zipper pulls from left to right, right to left. It's your preference. So you might know someone that's left-handed or ambidextrous or sees things a little backwards. Yes. I'm a post-it girl. I love post-it notes. I'm still at the 2 inches. I mean, not 2 inches, but the 2 mm for stitch length. I'm going to change everything back to the 2.5 once I'm done installing the zipper. And I like to go, I usually sometimes, one of my secret things to me having a perfect zipper pocket is I like to draw 1/4 of an inch on the outside of the zipper tape, like outside corners on the top and on the bottom, and that's where I know to stop and start. So that way it's like a perfect box, or 1/8 of an inch, whatever I feel like that day. I'm going to stop in a few stitches to pull my zipper pull up and through this pocket area. I usually have a pointing tool, a sharp tool of some sorts. And then just move the little tails out of the way. Oh, my phone just literally scared me. And just try to do a couple back stitches in your last zipper, your last stitch that you made, a couple stitches. See? All right. So you have your zipper pocket. Let me open it, and when you open it, there's no tape showing. It shows fabric, so it's a real clean finish. So I use this method in almost every bag I make because I don't like it. And then when you see the sides, they meet up. They're even because you have a top piece and a bottom piece. And it's amazing to think that having just like 1 inch difference from the top and bottom can help you with the headache of like when you're putting it in your pocket and you're like, oh no, I need to cut this and cut that, and not necessarily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like bring the fabric up about a 1/2 inch, like so. I'm folding it onto each other. So when I birth the bag, if I birth it through the lining, I can take the lining and pull it through the pocket and give the lining a really clean finish too. So I'm just letting these two fall in place. You can do 1/4 of an inch. I usually just do 1/2 inch. I like that number. And I'm going to close down the sides of the pocket right now. And I try to hit that little V area to make sure that's where I backstitch, because it helps reinforce the pocket. And I said I was going to change my stitch length, and I sure did. A couple back stitches. Do it on this. Little back stitches. Change my back to 2.5 so that way trim up threads and too big of overage. All right, so we have our first pocket. So we have a nice clean finish. When you open it up, it's all pretty in the inside. And then I leave a little hole. This, you can put as many pockets as you want. The next thing would be the slip pockets. So if you go to page, without missing your pattern piece around that you're going to need for the feet, if you go to page 120, and we're going to do the slip pockets, and there's a slip pocket on both sides. So the slip pockets are pretty, I'm a fan of slip pockets because I love having anywhere I can stick chapstick, water bottles, like you name it, I have it. So we're going to do the slip pockets, and not the hidden zipper. I do not have a post for that. That's not like me. Okay, let me use the nice index in the back. real quick so we can see how our lovely Samantha conducts her slip pockets. 143 is the index, and pockets is 23 to 30. I did this in school too. Alright, so the slip pockets are, they're really easy. It looks like we could do a divider one, but I'm going to just two simple slip pockets and follow the instructions on here, where we're going to do, basically, we're going to leave an opening for a turning, and we're going to sew up 3/8 of an inch. All right. So we have our 2 slip pockets. Put this lining right here. We have our 2 slip pockets, and we're going to, I promise you that pin shouldn't just like disappear, but apparently if you're me, pins disappear. Let's see. Okay. We're going to draw 3/8 of an inch on the sides that are open. We're going to take the slip pocket. You're going to fold it in half. And we're going to draw 3/8 of an inch line here, here, and here. And we're going to leave an opening at the bottom so that way we could turn it. I gotta get my phone off of that thing. It makes the loudest sound ever. I have just a quilting ruler that I get off of Amazon. I have them all over the house because each square represents 1/8, so it's easy to find your 5/8, 3/8, 7/8, all the fun stuff, or 1/4. It has the 1/2 inch mark, the 1 inch mark, the whole 9 yards, and it's just my favorite sets of rulers because they just are. You can leave a 6-inch opening or smaller. I'm going to do the 6 like the pattern said. So 3/8, 3/8. I like the look of the fabric too. So Emmeline had this, and I was just like, now I want to find it in all colors. So I have pink, and then I have my 2 lines where I'm going to stop and start at. I'm at a 2.5 stitch length, and we're starting. Make sure you back stitch. No, I don't have any pins on this because this fabric likes this kind of, it's not sticky, but it seems to like lay comfortably on itself without shifting too much. Pivot. And then you're going to get to your stop mark and just do a couple stitches back. Train your threads. And then start. That's what I like about my domestics. My Bernina does not have this feature, so you can choose to do needle down or needle up. No, you can't. It's just a straight stitch and zigzag machine, so it doesn't trim stitches, and I'm used to not trimming stitches. So when I'm on this machine and it like trims and back stitches and all that fun stuff, I'm like, this is amazing. And I'm gonna do the second piece before we cut and press. My machine wanted to eat my fabric, so give me 1 second to get this little bird's nest. Let's do it again. Back stitch. Okay. Yeah, I got the fabric from Emmeline, yes. I don't know. She might. It's an acrylic cotton. It's right when you go into her website, you will see it says, you know, of course, shop bag stuff, and then if you hit fabrics, it's right before the moras and the all that. So I'm going to take a pair of pinking shears and I'm going to trim that to that 1/4 of an inch. Do not cut into your stitching. So right where I have the opening at, I'm just going to not pink it. I'm not gonna cut. I'm gonna just kind of do a V outside. Okay. Do the same thing. Let's see. Hopefully she will carry it, because I really do like the fabric a lot. I like glittery things. If she doesn't, then Janelle from Emmeline carries it, and it's so far, wait until after our birthday, but so far it's getting 10 out of 10 stars, because I like grays, and I'm just getting a little extra going in and making sure that there's no extra fabric to where the point's going to be for the slip pockets. Okay, so what I do from here is I usually grab the iron, and I would normally hit it with a ton of steam, but instead I'm just going to warm it up, and then I'll turn it poking out the corners with my fingers at first, and then assessing if I need to get a bone finger or a blunt tool, a pencil, whatever you have. I have a lot of chopsticks in my room too. Like, having extra chopsticks from takeout it makes me happy. I've actually have used my ruler, like the corner of a ruler too. And a Phillips flathead. Whatever's at my fingertips. And I just poked. And then I'm going to press it a little bit, not a lot because it's not supposed to have heat. I can't emphasize that enough. And I'm just going to fold that little 3/8 of an inch in on itself to match the parts that are sewn, and then lightly press it. If you're just working with cotton, go ham and press it. And we have one slip pocket. And then we're going to just do the same for the second one. Open it up. Kind of try to get a corner and pull it through. Or a knitting tool can help too. I have, whenever I have a missing pair of wooden knitting tools, they somehow make it to my workroom as well. And we're just going to take that 3/8 of an inch. And I just put my fingers in it, and it kind of just wants to go inside because the rest of the fabric's in. And hit it with a little bit of heat. See. There we go. It's poked out better. All right. So we're gonna top stitch. You could top stitch. I'm gonna top stitch at 1/8 of an inch on the side that didn't get turned. No, I'm gonna do it at 1/4. I think, yeah. And you can make your stitches longer so it can be a decorative feature, or if you have a decorative stitch that you like on your machine, this would be a great opportunity to use it because it's the inside of the pocket and it can just give that extra oomph to your bag. And then top stitch the other one. All right. So we're going to put the lining pockets 3 inches up, 3 inches from the bottom panel. So I'm just going to grab a lining fabric. This one doesn't have the hidden zipper, so I'm going to find my center by folding it in half and creasing it with my fingers. And why I'm here, like just said, put that mark so if I need it in the future, it's there already. And see, it has like a really nice crease. Trim these threads. Okay. I'm going to find my center on this, fold it, crease it, and this is going to go 3 inches from the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple more of those silk pins or magic pins, whatever pins work for you. And I'm going to find exactly 3 inches from the bottom, line my slip pocket up. There's a slip, so we have these 2 slip pockets, and then we have a middle zipper pocket, similar to the Jangles, which I'm all for because I like pockets for my candy, what have you. So I put it with 2 pins, and we are going to now stitch around about 1/8 of an inch. If you want to divide your have like a center divider, there are some really great instructions on different ones. I also believe Monica did the chapstick for the lip balm one on her bag that she just did last month, I believe. I'm trying to think, something triple. Do one more stitch. Take out the pin. And if you want like extra reinforcement on your pocket, you could backstitch and then kind of do like a chicken, like a V. So like you can go a little bit in and it just helps with the reinforcements. If you have thicker material, like you're using a waterproof canvas, you can try to put a rivet and then put something reinforcement on the back so that the rivet has something to hold on to so the rivet doesn't pull through. You can do like some decorative like embroidery stitches, a lot of different things. Okay. Right, one down. So I'm going to grab the pocket that had the hidden zipper pocket. I'm going to move the zipper pocket out of the way, lay it down, and I'm going to clip the zipper pocket to the top so it doesn't get caught. I already have the center crease on here. I'm putting my ruler, and then I'm going to grab my slip pocket. Find my center on that. Crease, crease, crease. Pin. Okay. Zipper pocket out of the way. 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to do a couple of, ooh, that did not sound good. I'm going to do a couple reinforcement back stitches. Pivot. It might be time for the brothers to go to the doctor. I don't like the way it's sounding. I noticed it yesterday when I was making a shirt for my daughter. I removed all the fuzzies, but we shall see. It hasn't been serviced like in a year, so other than me cleaning. I have no problem taking apart a mechanical machine that's all just like metal and gear, but when it comes to something that's computerized, I chicken out, I'm afraid. Alright. So, we have another pocket. I believe we're going on to the bridge next. Create your zip, 14-inch zip. That goes there. I'm grabbing my bridge pieces. If I can find them. There we go. Okay. We're going to go see zip and lining closure. Zip and lining closure. With a size 5 zipper, and we're going to go to page 36. So with this, we are going to make our zipper anywhere from 2 to 3 inches longer than our bridge, or our finished bag. I apologize. And on page 38, we are going to cut out 4 pieces by the measurements, and then we're going to fold both sides with tape, the wrong sides with tape. We're going to turn it under 3/8 of an inch. So what you can do is, like, something's very similar to what I do, is I just like draw out the 3/8 of an inch and then put 1/8 of an inch tape or whatever tape I have on hand on between that line, and then I pill and fold down. I'm just drawing a 3/8 of an inch. I've had bridges come out a little wonky. And I'll show you exactly what the lines look like, because I got a nice bright hot pink pen. I figured if I usually use red or black friction pins, or a pencil, and that's silver, it wouldn't show up against the fabric. So I'll just draw 3/8 of an inch, just a line, and then I'll just take whatever tape I have available. If I have 1/4 of an inch, 1/8, it just depends on what I legitimately have. And I will take a piece of tape and just put it above the 3/8 inch line, so that way, I don't know, it doesn't like gum up the needles, because it's like not really the seam allowance, only on the sides. And again, this tape, for whatever the reason may be, it's not super sticky. It does have quite a few pieces, but it kind of reminds me of the jingle. Like, okay, so when I first did the jingle, I was petrified of that bag, because I'm like, it has the zip pocket, it has the bridge, it's just a lot. And it turned out it isn't a whole bunch. It's a whole bunch of little pieces that make these magnificent pieces, and it can go fairly quickly if you have everything cut out, and you could do it in one day, or if you take it over a couple days. Like, you can, I think there's like 15 steps, and you can just take like 2 steps at a time. This bag, I'm more curious because the front is so intriguing with the crisscross. I'm actually nervous about that part too. The crisscross pockets are just so intriguing. And okay, so we're going to take our zippers, and it's a 14-inch zipper. I'm just going to cut this so it's even. Okay. We're going to go on the zipper, we're going to bend and fold it. Now, some people sew it. I actually grab a needle and thread and just tack it down. I don't know why. I just feel like, for some odd reason, every time I do it the other way around, like, my zipper looks really wonky. Again, that's a me problem. And I'm just gonna mark with a pen highlighter and hope that this comes out a 1/2 inch down. And I'll show you how I hand tack it. I actually like hand sewing. I know it's not super popular. It's just when my Abuelita had her shop, I used to hem dresses by hand. So it's something I'm used to doing. What happened? All right. So what I do is I find the line that I made. I made it half an inch down because my zipper is a little longer than 14 inches. And I fold it on itself. Then I'll take needle and thread. No, I don't double knot it, because it will wind up knotting itself. And I just tack down the sides completely. And that's one side down. Whenever I put it in the machine, for some odd reason, it just doesn't come out right. I've tried several times. Find the line again, and I just kind of bend it on itself, where this part, I'm bending it on the line so the line meets the zipper head, the zipper teeth. Yes. Inside, if you have the book, it starts with the lining. Inside first and then outside. And I'm just using a regular, I don't even know what needle this is. It's just a regular, not an embroidery one. I want to say it's for lace. And so I have my two sides, and they're perfect. Put the needle back in its little casing, and then I'm going to fold down each strip with the little 1/8 of an inch tape right on the line. And do the same thing. And then we're going to make some zipper sandwiches, zipper tape sandwich. And then the other side, and we have one more strip. Yeah. I first, when I read the book, I was like, why are we doing the lining first? And actually, it kind of makes sense because of the bridge and all the thing. It has more parts than um, the exterior. The exterior is fairly straight, simple. We're used to putting connectors inside the seams. The pockets will probably be the most intriguing thing, but they're like four big pieces versus like the bridge connector and whatnot have you. So what we're going to start is we're going to take your zipper, and I'll just like pull one out of the way, and you're going to put the teeth where you want the right side of your fabric. You're going to put it right sides of your fabric, but you want the teeth, if you were to look at it where your 3/8 of inches fold down, you want it to start right underneath there. So that way it's not in your, what am I using? And you're just going to pin or wonder clip, whatever's easier for you. And then we're going to stitch down one-fourth of an inch. See? I'm at a 2.5 stitch length as well still. I'm just going to do it on from the zipper facing me so that way it doesn't shift. It was like moving way too much. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a zipper sandwich, and you're going to take your lining and have it right sides facing. And I like to clip at the very top so that if I need to adjust any, like, let's say I didn't cut that accurately, I can measure that they're both even at the bottom. Good night. Make sure you backstitch the beginning and the end of each stitch. And you have your first part of your bridge. And what you could do your top stitching now, or you could finish. I like to top stitch. I'm not going to lie, like right at the beginning, so that way I can this becomes one unit, and when I do the other side, there's no way I'm going to catch the other one in the seam. I have done that so many times. And I'm just like finger pressing it to get it all flat. Back stitch. And then you're going to do like 1/8 of an inch for top stitching. Alright. Just get all the loose threads. And you have that, and while I'm here and I'm trimming up threads, I will find my middle, because that's going to be you're finding your center is going to be very, very, very important when we connect the bridge. And I'm just going to do a little V, not even 1/8 of an inch, so that way I can see where the center is. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Let me drink some water. Make sure you stay hydrated. Threads. Having the zipper go right underneath that 3/8 of an inch mark. Okay. Make sure you back stitch. You can use your zipper foot if you're more comfortable with that. Trim. And then I just had the lining on the floor. Match top to bottom. I normally just don't clip it at the bottom, because in case something shifts a little bit and my lining stretched a little too or something, I can adjust the tape at the bottom to making sure that they're both the right size. But right now they're matching up fine, which is really rare for me. this machine cuts threads, it leaves like long tails. Alright. Wrapping this around. And I'm going to top stitch it at 1/8 of an inch. Back stitching. Stitch at the end. Sorry, a couple of the, when I was top stitching on the side, I didn't catch everything, so I'm just removing a couple stitches and I'm just going to top stitch that area. Because you want everything to line up. You're putting in all this work. And sometimes, like, I want it to be like, nobody will see it. Very true. But for me, when I just want to give my all into any project I do. And if I make a mistake, I want to be able to correct it. And I make a lot of mistakes. Trimming threads. I'm going to find my center. And just do a small V. I'm going to trim down this excess stabilizer so that way I don't line that up when we're about to construct it. All right. All right. Make sure the zipper is even, which it's not, it's about 3/8 off. Okay. Sorry, now the zipper wants to act. It's a hit or a miss with zipper tape with me. Sometimes it's a definite hit. So we have our bridge. Lining, exterior. Okay, So now we're going to, I believe, make the exterior, I mean not the exterior, the middle pocket. Okay. I need to get another zipper. I totally forgot about the zipper pocket. I didn't forget, but forgot enough. I'm going to get a yellow, I think. Or not. Get a yellow. And we need, I'm doing a yellow with the black zipper. We need 12 inches. Whenever I'm looking for the lighter. Alright. I'm just going to cut it a little longer than 12 inches so I can put the zipper in, as well as it just, when I do pockets, I just like to have the zipper out of the way completely so I can line it up as best I possibly can. These, yeah, they're from Karen K. Barkley. I got them, I want to say at Joann's. So we're going to go to zipper pockets. Not, yeah, zipper divider pockets. And that's on page 34. So I completely just have this separate, and then I'm going to put the zipper pull on there right before we do everything. I'm using the outside fabric, and I am going to pin right sides together, but because I don't have the zipper on there, I am going to clip the lining, which is the same as the exterior, to the other side, right side to the wrong side of the zipper. So that way it goes a little bit faster. This is slippery fabric, so hopefully I won't be regretting it in 5 seconds. Because it might happen. And let's see. You're going to do it at 1/4 of an inch. I'm at 2.5 still. And please backstitch a couple stitches. One side done. And I'm going to pin in place the other side. Put the lining right side to the wrong side of the zipper. And I'm almost done pinning. Back stitch. Okay. So we have our zipper. We have the right side of the lining. We have the lining on the top. I'm just going to grab my zipper that I just had. I know I just had it. I was like, really? Yeah. I'm gonna have to get a zipper head. I can't believe I just, oh, there it is. I was like, I know I just had it. I'm just going to pull the teeth a little bit apart, and I'm going to take this ginormous zipper head and slide it into position. I'm going to push down. There we go. So, all right, we are going to put right sides of the right side of the fabric together. I'm going to put a few clips. I'm just going to put a clip in the center because we're going to need to mark some important marks. So from the raw edge of the bottom panel on all four corners, you're going to mark 1 1/4 inch from each bottom quarter. I had a bigger surface, but don't. If I use a smaller ruler, it might help. 1/4. Last but not least, 1/4. Okay. we're going to draw a triangle from the 1/4 marks on each corner side. So you're going to draw 1/4, 1/4, and then a triangle going directly down it. Can I see on my phone? Because apparently I cannot see. Oh yeah, I have this stain with it. Oh, I have a zipper jig. I understand. I feel like I understand why people want it, because the idea, it sounds really cool that you can just bam and the zippers are in. It never works for me. Like, it works if I'm really, really tired, but other than that, I don't know. I'm appreciative that I bought one. I bought one probably like 6 months ago, and maybe I will get better use of it later. But right now, I don't know. I'm not a like huge fan of it. If you have like, okay, so like Monica, she broke her hand in baseball, so she, her hand hurts. And then Tammy has carpal tunnel, like that. Like Monica has arthritis and sometimes in her hands because of the metal plates. Yes, get those because it can help. Anything that can help with minimize pain. But I don't have anything wrong with my hands except they're pudgy. And I just can't seem to work it. I think it's me. Maybe I'm not a big fan because I can't work it. So we're gonna, okay, sew all triangle lines through all 4 layers. No. Yep, it's probably just what I did. Yeah. Alright, hold on. Put the panels of zippers right sides together like a sandwich. That's what I did. Pull the top panel stacked down to the raw edge of the bottom panel. Clip. Sew all triangle lines through all 4 layers of the pocket seam allowance, and then trim. Let's do this. Back stitch. Cut the zipper tail off. Let's see. I don't even know why I'm pinking this. This is like, kind of reminds me of like a waterproof meets ripstop. Okay. Oh, I see what it does there. That's pretty cool. It has a nice finish in the inside and on the outside. Alright, so we would need to sew this to one side of the lining, and that's why I was saying keep your pattern pieces, because the lining has the pattern piece has important marks on it, like where to put your zipper placements, where the zipper divider is, and you could just mark it. I can with a friction pin, whatever is your choice. I had to get like the noisiest cellophane. Oh no. Yeah, I like I hear good things about the 3D ones. I haven't tried them though. I've heard good things. I'm just going to pin this where it tells me for the zipper divider. And then I'll mark it on the other one, so when we're getting close to putting the lining together, which we are really fast, it will be already set. Let me just move this iron so that way I don't burn myself. And just make the marks on the other side. Just everything lines up nicely. It's probably not the best way to lay something flat, but it has a nice curve and it gets the job done with it, because it can just, fabric can roll over and just be okay. Mark. Still have my center divider marks. Alright. Now we're going to get to the fun stuff about adding the bridge, or we're really going to see this bag take shape. Like fast. Alright. We're going to grab the bridge and the center divider mark. This is, so, you know, there's that great discussion, like, do you want to have your zipper towards your body? I think I'm like dragging something. Zipper towards your body or behind you. I like to have the pocket to be on the back, like close to my body. So I have the little marks that I made right here. I'm going to line up. I could have sworn, oh, you know what, when I ironed, when I ironed it, took away, the heat friction pin mark went away. So let me just snip. Why am I snipping with pinking shears? I always forget that, oh, it's okay, it's on the bottom. So I'm going to, I like the zipper to be closed left, and then you open it to the right. You can like it either however you want it. There's like really no wrong or right answer. It's personal preference. Everyone has like a different way they like things, and so with the zipper bridge, we're going to use a 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to, you could baste it, but I'm using, it's cotton, so it's not going to perforate. It's not like a waterproof canvas where you can put too many holes. It can be easily ripped in that section. And back stitch at the beginning and end really well. And then I'm going to take one of the bridge connectors. I'm not the bridge connectors, the top of the lining piece. And line it up. Stick a couple of clips in it. Still at 2.5. Move your phone and pin so it doesn't fly off the desk. Back stitch. And then I'm going to finger press this because I can't iron the yellow. And then I'm going to just top stitch it. At 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to do the same with the lining. I'm going to grab my top piece. Oh, you know what it is? It's the foam board. I'm like, something's like slowly scratching and I don't know what it is. I got foam board and the cross knit plastic, so that way you can figure out what's the best I know I have this. You can figure out what's the best like I promise you every time I do a project I have like a piece of fabric that just like jumps out, leaves whatever I'm at. And it then I have to cut another piece or something, and I had all the pieces, then it'll magically appear when I don't need it. I'm going to have to cut out another piece because that's just typically shoot. I know for certain I had it. That's the part that's going to drive me mad. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to just cut that out real quick. I'm like, there it is. I knew I had it. Okay. But it was on the cutting table. Ta-da. So, all right. We're back at it. Okay. We're going to get the bridge part, match it up with our center. I don't need my knee. Let's see. Couple clips. Hi, Dalva. Oh no, I know. It's right here. It was on my cutting table. And we're just pinning, matching, making sure our centers match. Same seam allowance, 3/8 of an inch, back stitch. All right. Grab our top and just like line it up. Okay. 3/8 of an inch. Move your zipper tape so it doesn't get caught. To top stitch at 1/8 of an inch finger pressing, because again, this material is truly interesting. I'm just kind of going off of the line from the lining. Make sure there's no fabric that tries to come, because unpicking will not be fun. Threads, and now we're going to finish putting this lining together. So first we're going to do is those lines that I talked about are really crucial right now, because we're going to put, when we sew up this, we're going to put the zipper, the zipper the divider zipper is going to be in the middle. Hey, Monica. So I'm going to line up the top, and I love lining up the top with putting like a clip at the very top of it, so nothing gets shifted. And then I'm going to take a clip and clip the zipper tape completely out of the way. Then I'm lining up my two pink lines on both sides of the fabric to make sure that the zipper teeth are lined up where they're supposed to be for the center divider pocket. So I'll clip one side, then I'll bring the other side to it and clip it. And then I'll put a clip in between just to make sure. You're just enclosing all the raw edges. I had to pick like the slipperiest fabric ever. And for that, it's easier to clip on one side on a harder surface. But we're working what we've got. All right, one side done. We're almost done with this side because we already clipped the major area. Going to take the zipper pocket. All right, so we're gonna go down 3/8 of an inch down each side. Let's see. My notification is weird. Like, I normally am able to see feed either on one of these, and I have to keep like swiping in order to get it to be refreshed. I just think it's Facebook. All right. back stitch. And I'm going to back stitch at anywhere there's like a seam too, just for that extra precaution. And we're going to go over that zipper tape. Take your time and do 1 or 2 back stitches on that as well. Okay, one side down and 5 clips that fell. All right, and we're going to do it on the other side. And make sure, like I said, I clip my zipper tape away, but just in case, you know, push it with your finger. Make sure you're cognizant of it. Because you don't want to come this far and you're like, oh man, I have to unpick everything. My zipper, there we go. My zipper was stopping the foot from moving forward. All right. Like 15 more clips. Okay, so we're gonna do the bottom. What I like to do is I should have marked my center, but I can do it. It's going to be a tight little squeeze. I'm going to pull this out of the way, find my center, and seam to seam, sorry, seam. Put a little snip, itty bitty baby slip, and I'm going to make sure all 4 layers, I should have sewn all 4 layers together first, like on the bottom, so there's not an opening, but I'm going to clip it, put it towards the bottom, and then find my other center mark and do the same thing, match it up to that, hold it, and clip. So when I'm always done with sewing, I have like a million clips all over the floor. I wish I can get like a Roomba or something that can collect just clips. I think the reason why I have so many is because they're always on the floor. Or then when you step on them, oh, it's worse than Legos. All right. So we have this. Yeah, the one yesterday was completely my fault. I, for whatever the reason may be, thought I created the event, and I didn't. I really thought I did. I think ever since I have like really bad sinuses, like horrible sinuses. Like I've had 2 surgeries and still have to see an ENT neurologist because of my sinuses. Well, they kind of thought I think I have a sinus infection, so they tried this new steroid, medicine that I'm spraying on my nose. At first, it gives me extremely bad cotton mouth, and sorry, either my family's coming home and my dog's acting a donkey. So I have like really bad sinuses. Anyway, so the steroid sometimes makes me a little sleepy. It's like one of the weird side effects. And I think I really thought I made the event and I didn't. And then when I made the event, I did it on Facebook through, not the app, because the app wasn't working, through Chrome's, and for some reason it didn't allow me to make it a event for a live. So we have this, and we're going to just box the corners. I'm going to take one seam and put it one way and another seam the other. And whatever seam you do, like if you have this seam going this way, repeat it on the same step so this part can lay flat. Okay. So we're going to now squish our bags and squish our bags and do a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. I like to sew a little in and then back stitch off and then come on again. Because for some odd reason, me and box corners are interesting. And on the seam, I just did a little back stitch. One done. Let's do the other. When you do the other, just make sure it's straight. You have to put a clip, pins, whatever you have to do. One, back off. All right. Okay. Our lining is all done. And we have this cool zipper pocket in the inside. And it opens up and no hole. Man, I love the center divider. All right, so we're gonna go to the next step. Is the exterior. We're going to take, put right sides together on each, you're gonna have two sets. They're gonna mirror each other. Give me 1 second. I did not cut off the excess sew fuse yesterday, and I said I was going to do it today. I had a million and one errands to do today, but I did go to Michael's. Like I said, I got the foam board so we can have some fun with different bases to make it more rigid. Because I like Frankenstein some of the sew fuse because it's like my precious interfacing. I try to save as much as interfacing I can. Especially if it's something that you really like, you know? Like, I like foam, and I know a lot of people don't. I'm a huge fan of foam. But I only like by Annie or Visine has a version, and I was able to get it. Someone sent it to me in a Christmas package, and I really like that one, that version too. Not a fan of Basel, and I really don't like Pellons. But everyone, like, it's kind of like shoes, you know? Everyone's not going to like a Nike or Adidas. Personal preferences. It's like, I am a huge fan of the City Divider. The Jingles has a City Divider. I took City Toe. Yeah. The Jingles has a center divider. So, we're going to put right sides together. This real quick, and all right, so we're going to pin each side together. And we're going to make it kind of like a tube. 3/8 of an inch. And then I'm just going to trim down the seam before I turn it. Or maybe I should pink. We're just going to trim down to like 1/4 of an inch. I'm pinking so that way the fabric can lay flatter when I press it. Because we're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch on one side. And it just helps reduce bulk. And I like the way the pinking sears sound. Yeah, I kind of want to put like center dividers in all my bags now because I just like organization. And if let's say I'm going to somewhere like Michael's, and Michael's has like a 20% coupon, and then I'm going to go to Hobby Lobbies, and they don't have their coupons anymore, which another another story. But then I want to go do, you know, whatever. I can put certain things, just organize my purse better. All right. So we have one before we start pressing, and then let me sew this one up and then pink it, and then we're going to press, and then we're going to start constructing this exterior. And I'm super excited. Didn't do it right. All right, so I might have to cut another piece because, yeah, I sure didn't do it right. All right, bear with me for just a moment. The day in the life of Shinova messing up. This is going to have to do. Right sides together. Well, I mean, think about it, it's only floating on the bottom. No, it's not. It's only floating on the sides, the two parts. The bottom gets caught up in the seam allowance, in the bottom side allowance, and then the side seams get taken in. So it's only floating 1 1/4 of an inch on each side with a clean finish. So 3 inches at the most. I've done some other ones, and I have to be perfectly honest with you. I've done a couple of center divider, so there's a couple people that have patterns out for them. I kind of like this one better because of the simple fact that it reduces the bulk tremendously. Plus, it comes out super clean. I know I have something on my machine. All right. So we're gonna press. Here. It just, I like center dividers because I usually throw my phone in it, or pens, whatever have you. But most of the time it's my phone. This with some steam. And then I'm just rolling the seams. Okay. I like to usually take my time. I like ironing to make something super crisp as I possibly can. Yeah. I still carry baby wipes because my kids are, when they eat in the car, there's food everywhere. So I have they have these wipes called boogie wipes, and they're like baby wipes, but my son has really bad allergies, and so I have the wipes on one side, and then my wallet and everything goes on the other. And then he also has an EpiPen, so I carry an EpiPen in my purse as well. All right, top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. One side. I will promise I'll clean you as soon as we're done. Right. Yes, I talk to my machines. The middle one, okay, so I don't know if anybody else is like this, but as soon as my kids come home, somehow, some way, if I have a bag, everybody thinks it's okay to stick stuff in mom's bag. And I don't know how it happened, but I became the bag carrier, and it's not fun. All right. All right. So we are going to put the panels, we're going to line up the panels to, where's the measurement? Five eighths. Hold on. It's from the 5/8 from the top corner. So let me grab a nifty ruler. Move this out of my way so I don't accidentally burn myself. I'm going to mark 5/8 of an inch, probably with some pins, because I keep misplacing my pins. Bear with me, I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like as soon as I put a couple of clips in it. It would help if I put it the right way. Okay. 5 inches from the bottom corner is where you're going to put the first, like, basting pin or wonder clip. So it's 5/8 of an inch up from the corner pockets. And I'm just going to tack this, base this down with, I'm just going to go 3.5 at 1/4 of an inch. And do the same on this side. I like how it's like curved in for it. Like, that's pretty cool. Just back stitch. And then I'm going to grab my other one and just make sure that's exactly 5/8 on the other side. So you could just line it right on top of one another. Raw edges, hitting raw edges. Okay, so we're gonna do some stitching now. I'm gonna tack this down. I feel like I'm missing some really good costume. Let's see. So we are going to go across the bottom, but we need to find our center so that way we can stitch a center divide center. So this could be like, it actually comes a couple pockets. You'll have this one, this, you have a couple pockets here. You could do a couple things. You can do the sewing up and down like I'm going to do to make sure it's really reinforced. You can stick a rivet, or you can hand sew a cute button, or this will be a really cute place to put your logo, like a lot of different things. So 1/8 of an inch is going to be down, but I'm going to find our center. I'm going to clip to make sure. And then I wish I had a chalk pen. I could have sworn I bought a chalk pencil, but apparently I did not. Which I have a lime green heat friction pen, so let's give this a whirl. Oh yeah, you could hardly see it. All right. You can't see it, but there's a small crease right here, and that's where I'm going to top stitch. I'm going to start from the bottom and then go to the top. I'm going to back stitch a few stitches. I'm just going to follow this line that is really faint even to me to see. And I'm going to sew right up until the part where my top stitching is. I'm going to back stitch 2 stitches, come up 2 stitches, and then I'm going to turn my whole project around and then come back down. If I was doing this with vinyl, I would draw a center and then draw stitches 1/8 inch away and 1/8 inch away, and then kind of go up that 1/8 across and then down. So that way I'm not like perforating the vinyl or whatnot. All right. Cut off my tails, and then I'm going to bottom stitch the bottom to this with 1/8 of an inch, back stitching in the beginning, and then the end. Oops. There we go. Take your time, breathe. You're almost there. And there goes a ruler. All right. So we have our crisscross pocket with all the cool pockets. All right. So now start assembling. We're going to take our other piece. This is why I like box. Wait, should I mark the purse feet? Yes. Yes, Shanova. Yes, you should. I'm going to mark. There's a little, on the pattern piece, there is a little area for your purse feet. And I am going to mark this area. And I'm just laying my pattern on top of it, and then I'm going to apparently grab this lime green heat friction pin. I don't know why I have a lime green. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna take a brown pen. Unless I have something. Nope. I'm just going to take this brown pen and make a dot. And this. Make a dot. Dots. You want to do this on a flat surface. I'm just kind of curling it around my sewing machine and making sure that they match up. Okay. And we're going to take our two pieces, and like I said, I love clipping right at the top, so no, like I can prevent as much shifting as I possibly can. And then I kind of do the same thing on the bottom. If I can do that and everything lines up, then I don't need clips in between, but you can definitely put clips in between. It's personal, all personal preferences. And 3/8 of an inch is the stitch, the seam allowance. This, yeah, the seam. And this has like a unique shape, so just follow the shape. Back stitch at the ends. And I'm going to do the other side seam. My bobbin's almost out, so I'm going to change it so it doesn't. I'm going to move this wasabi tape real quick, because I can't get into my bobbin without moving it. My bobbin case. It's still sticking. Like pretty good. Not today, Bobbin. Not today. I'm going to stick this tape back at my 3/8 mark. And then I'm going to put a clip on the bottom. Three-eighths of an inch. I'm going to put my hands in the bag, and I'm going to take my bag and make it have a smiley face, and I'm going to kind of just flatten out if I could talk, the seam allowance so it's spread evenly across, and I'm going to just stick a couple of these big gigantor binder clips 3/8 of an inch. And like I said before, what I usually do is I sew like I'm a little on, and then I'll sew directly off back stitching and then go back on. This is the thickest part of the bag. You can do this. Do a quick tap stitch back and forth across the bottom seam. One down. Stick my hands in. Then I'm going to take the seam and open them. Stick a clip there. And one there. 3/8 of an inch. My sewing machine is this one I think is out, like they don't make this particular one anymore. It's a Brothers NQ3500D. I got it like, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. It's an embroidery machine too. If you follow me on Instagram or see my reels and my Facebook, it's always this machine that I'm filming on, because it's the machine I bring upstairs so that when my kids are in class, I can still sew while they're in class. I'm going to trim the seams down to 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to turn the bag right side out. I'm going to make sure everything looks good. Poke out my corners. Oh, this is going to be a cute bag. All right, we have our strap connectors. The 6 inches, I'm going to be cutting it down to 3 inches. I'm going to change my foot real quick to a zipper foot, because I'm going to get really close to top stitch There's one of my pet peeves in bag making is when your rectangle ring moves, like it's sewn in like this, right? And then all of a sudden it starts shifting. That's my personal pet peeve with my bags. I'm going to tighten it as tight as I can with my fingers and then tighten it with the screwdriver. I cannot implore you enough to tighten your tools, because if you don't, you can knock your timing out, a lot of things. And I always test to make sure that I have enough clearance in my zipper foot as well. So I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to take one of my straps with the welded corners in. I'm going to fold it in on itself. And then I'm going to take it over to my machine, lift up my presser foot, take my time because I'm going through 4 layers of acrylic cotton and 4 layers of woven fused plus. Back stitch. All right, I'm going to grab my other one and do the same thing. The welded part where you can see the opening, I'm going to fold it over. And if you want to make sure you feel more secure, you can take a little binder clip. I'm just going to stick it right underneath. Sorry. I'm going to stick this right underneath where this one's about to let off, so that way it becomes like a continuous. Cut off my threads, and I have 2 that are like now in place. You can rivet it, but I just showed you that this domestic went through all that. I don't have a walking foot on, it's just a regular foot. I haven't used a hop jumper yet, so I'm trying not to say anything so it doesn't happen, because I would have to go walk to another machine. All right, and because I'm using polyester thread, I'm just kind of melting the edges. The fire is not going directly on the fabric. I'm just singeing the ends to make sure that it gets heat sealed, similar to vinyl. Cotton is flammable. All right. We are going to put one of these on. It's going to meet in the center of the seam. So I flatten the seam, and I'm going to stick a clip right in the center. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take the seam, open it, and stick the clip. Okay, I'm going to change out my foot back to my regular J foot. If you have a Brothers or a Baby Lock, it's the J foot. I'm using a 9014 needle, and it is a Microtex needle from Schmidt. Thread, same thread I use in my my smaller industrial. It is the Wawak. Oh, I say that right. Wawak thread, the Saba. You know, I don't know what's going on. I think a lot of people haven't been getting their notifications. I know some of the I haven't been getting notifications. And my feed is like 3 days old. So, beautiful thing about domestic and having a free arm is if you have the free arm, use your free arm. Okay, so I'm going to base these on. Our seam allowance is going to be 3/8 of an inch, so I want to have that extra security. I'm not going to base it on at 1/8. I'm going to base it on at 1/4 or a little scant below 1/4, so it can be a second row of reinforced stitching. I know it's thick, but you got this. A little underneath the 1/4 of an inch mark. I do reinforced stitching on almost everything. I had a backpack horror story. So one of the first backpacks I made was like 5 years ago. And I wasn't aware that once they heat seal polyurethane straps. And so my son took his backpack to the park. It wasn't for a client, it was just for my son. He took his backpack to the park, and 5-year-old Ken, 4-year-old Ken, about to turn 5, is going down the slide, and all of a sudden he gets caught, like one shoulder gets caught and the other thing's caught in between one of the slide brackets. The backpack pulled apart because it was unraveling from the polyurethane. And then that's why every time I have polyester, I'm like heat sealing it, and then I'll do 2 rows of stitching because I had no idea that actually could happen. So it unravels. He's heartbroken. I'm not mom of the year. So we're going to now begin the process. So this is the front of the bag. I'm going to make sure the pocket side is on the opposite side. Again, you have it closer to you. You never know. You may have been one of those people that put 2 zipper pockets. All right. So I have a little bit of the seam allowance here on this. I'm going to open that up, match it seam to seam, and there is going to be a very, very thick seam. What we have to do is just breathe and slowly stitch through it. Make sure your zipper pocket is open. Mine is okay. And then you could just once you match the sides, you can just stick a couple of clips to make sure everything is evenly dispersed. Everything should go together quite smoothly. Okay. let's do this. So we have our seam allowance, and we are going to start doing it. Oh, I didn't start the bag base with the feet. Oh, Shinova. All right, and I got this whole thing. All right. Foam board is one of the tools that Samantha mentions in the thing. This stuff is very, 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 very rigid. And then the other is, I like this. I've used Criss Cross before. And it's just plastic canvas. It's a little bit more flexible, but it gives your bag a really nice hold. So we're going to go to hardware and feet, which is not bag bases. It's page 51. Fray check is important, especially if you're using cotton. But we are going to cut out this bag base. It needs to be a 1/2 inch smaller than the finished bag base around. So this is 5 inches by 10, just above 10.5. Okay. So I'm going to do 4 inches by 9.5. I'm going to use this brown marker again. Apparently it's my go-to. And I'm just going to roughly just draw on this. All right. So I'm going to use my paper scissors to cut out this plastic, because you don't want to use your fabric scissors, because that would be a nightmare. Okay. The reason why I picked this, and it's easier to birth than that. If you did a hole through the lining, I would say go foam all day long. But see how flexible this is? At the same time, it's rigid. So what I'm going to do is I am missing my owl. I'm going to get an awl, I think, and then I'm going to make the 4 brown holes that I have right here, I'm going to poke through, and I'm going to poke through with the canvas, the plastic grid, and then I'm going to put my purse feet in. It's also going to secure your purse feet better. You don't have to do this because the foam itself can make it like really, really nice. But if you want to, it's good to try, you know, new and eventful things. And I don't know, I like a really strong, sturdy base. All right, so I have just a little awl tool, and then I'm getting my feet. And I got these really big bucket feet. I'm using 4. And getting the little washers. So I'm going to take my awl, and also why I like the grid is because if you poke a hole in it, it already has holes in it, so it'll be fine. Be careful with this because it's your hands, and you don't want to damage the goods. Poke a hole, then put the feet through it. Then I'm going from the top, I'm holding the feet still, and I'm going to put the washer on. I'm going to put the washer on and press. So the grid's in there. Let me show. The grid's in there, and your purse feet are in there now too. Oh. Yeah, I think it's Dalva. I think it's everyone. Right now, everyone I know is having issues with either notifications or 3 or 4 day old feeds. I don't know. Maybe Facebook's going to be doing another update. Because my whole video from yesterday just is gone. And Lizzie tried to recover it. Samantha and Lizzie both gave me information to try to recover it on my own. And my feed shows that I haven't posted anything since May the 5th. And that is absolutely incorrect. So I'm just using my awl, poking a hole, then sticking my foot inside, squishing down my bag, getting to my purse feet prongs, opening them up, putting the washer on. Putting the washer on. And pressing the feet down. And this is the last one, and I'm going to put some duct tape on it so that way when I turn the bag I don't cut open my hand, because that's happened a couple times. Alright, so we have cute little bucket purse feet. And inside, they're all in the grid. with the prongs. So I'm going to grab 4 little pieces of duct tape. Yes, I'm ripping the duct tape. I have incredible hawk hands. I'm just putting the tape right over the feet. I'm so glad I got a pattern from Samantha, because before what happened, up until like almost my first time making a pattern, my first bag I made from her was the Daily Day Tripper. And that was over a year and some change ago. Up until that duct tape thing, I would just mess up my hands with like prongs and whatnot. Sticking this in. Putting back hardwood down. Matching up seams first. Matching seams to seam. That's about right. I'm just opening up my seam so it's even fabric throughout the whole thing back. Yeah, I'm hoping Facebook fix it fast, because I was looking at my feed yesterday and everything was like 4 days old. I was like, what? Wait, what? Few clips. All right. Okay. Now we're going to start. I like to start on one side seam and then work my way to all the way around. We have a good full-size bobbin. Now the thickness is going to be a lot. Just breathe. You will get through it. All right. Back stitch a couple stitches. When you adjust, just move your needle back, make sure it's in the needle down position. Okay, we're about to get to that really thick seam. Just remember to keep the seam flat open. Take your time. It's Not already. My machine did not like it. So I'm going to hand crank, and then I'm going to pick up where I left off. Take your time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and reinforce areas that I know are going to have a lot of wear and tear, like the side seams, because that's where the straps are. I'm getting to the strap again. Slow. Slow. And I'm going to do a back stitch. Back stitch. I'm just going to go one more time around. I mean, it's all stitched down. I just hate reinforcing one side and not the other. It's really weird to me. Slow. Make sure your hardware is out of the way. Slow. All right. We did that. I knew I just had my pinking shears. Okay, so I'm going to pink. When I get to the seam on this side, I can't pink through it because it's so hard. But I'm gonna, in garment making, they have this thing called grading, and you're basically cutting at an angle where you're gonna have multiple little layers, so the bulk is not all in one space. So, like, let me see if I can get up close so you can see. See how the bulk is in like different layers? It's not all one area. Mine and nails, I told you the DSD took them off, left the polish off. So it's not, it's in more than one area. Okay. Thank you, Dalva. I just wanted to show, because that's how I do garments. And I found it really helpful in bags. All right, so let's birth this. Take a corner. I don't know, my dog keeps barking, but I think my family's home. I'm hoping they're home. I'm going to just put an extra row of stitching in this. On the bottom, on the side of the back, because this is going to get a lot of wear and tear from if the plastic canvas touches it. Hopefully it doesn't. All right. And I'm going to get some Wonder Clips. Just so I can stay down. And again, it's going to be a little harder around the strap area. You just have to take it really slow. Even if you have to like up your needle, because mine's is a 90/14, I can put in a 100 if it push comes to shove. All right. I hope they don't kick me out either, because we're almost done. All right. I start in the corner. Few back stitches. Couple of hand cranks. That's like a feather flowing around my face. I really hate hand cranking with a computerized one. I don't mind it when I do it on like my other, like if it's all metal machine, but if it's not, it makes me nervous because I don't want to like mess up the timing. And top stitching 1/8 of an inch around. Okay, it's getting to that area, so we just one stitch at a time. And we're done with that side. We're just going to go halfway up onto the other side because I started in the seam. And just take your time. It's going to be like 4 stitches. And 1 back stitch. And we are done with the hardest part. Super cute. Trim your threads. That was with a 90/14 Smith Microtex needle on my domestic. So I know, and you can change things up. You can do fleece or Sew Fuse Plus. I think would be nice. Actually, I think this would be a really cool slouchy bag. And I'm a sucker for structure, so. I'm closing up my pocket. Trimming the threads. Sticking my zipper pocket back and poking the corners out in it. Okay. This is pretty cool. Let's see. Then we just, Monica, I did my strap first because of you. I just want you to know that. I'm going to take my strap adjuster, feed it through, and just do top row stitching. I'm still going to use a rivet because I'm hard on straps. But if you wanted to, I'm just for the sake of you, let's say you don't have a rivet, you can back stitch. You could do a box, an X box, like a 2 lines of stitching, and then you can do an X. And this is with 4 layers of acrylic cotton, and now folded, it's 4 layers of So Few Plus. Make sure your strap is straight before you start the feeding process. Yeah, I keep saying have your strap straight, but one and I keep making my strap crooked. I promise you I'm not this bad with straps. I don't know what my hang up is today. Okay. The struggle is real today. Just breathe. Just whatever the reason may be, I am literally struggling with this. Here we go. Then you would take your other side put the same amount and you would top stitch. Double check the size. It's like 1/8 of an inch off. I'm going to get as close as I can. I should put on my zipper foot, but I'm afraid that Facebook will time out because I wanted to take forever with the strap adjuster. And the crazy thing, I literally put strap adjusters on everything. It is Saturday. Take off the threads. You burn them too, which I'm gonna most likely do. And you have a super duper cute slip pockets, secret pockets for your Skittles and chocolates. And this. So what you're gonna do next is you need an end for your zipper. So I just grabbed a zipper. I have a zipper in that I have like they're strap ends that I use for zipper ends, or you can use the fabric, whatever's easier for you. I'm going to clip this so this is all straight. Use my, there goes the chopstick. Use a lighter. Make sure this doesn't fray. And what I do is I like measure it first, and then I'll get like fray check. And then I'll put it on the ends. It's a little clogged. Even though I burned it, I still always put the fray check on it. And I put fray check because it's a glue. I'll put it inside the zipper pull too. I like glues. I'm going to, this is a 1 inch, and the zipper tape is 1 1/4 of an inch. So I'm trying to fray check the area that I'm going to fold in on itself, so I can have a pretty nice feed going in. And you can hand stitch this in place too. I sometimes do that so I can have it to look as accurate as possible. I don't like having a wonky like zipper end, because I'm like, I put in all this effort. And all I'm doing is I'm just top stitching the area down, like whip stitching the area down that I want to stay down, so that way I'm not like finagling with it when I'm trying to slip it into the zipper. And yes, I had it threaded. So it's all like tacked down with some hand sewing real quick. I'm going to slide this over, and then I'm going to grab a screw that came with it. And screw this in real quick. And then I usually drop a couple drops of fray check in the screw so it doesn't untighten over time. And you're done. You have a fabulous bag that has really cool exterior pockets. You have a recessed zipper. You open it up, you have a slip pocket, a center divider pocket, a hidden zipper pocket, and another slip pocket. This bag is like chock full of just pockets, and I like that. And then that's it. You have your cute little purse feet, and you have a nice base. So it sits nice and taut. So I'm finished before the 4-hour mark. You can add rivets right here and rivets to the end if you wish. You can bling this up. The possibilities are endless with this bag, and I really like it. I made it slower than what it feels like. I feel like it can be a faster bag. I really love this fabric. Thank you, Monica. It's waterproof. So if you have any questions in reference to interfacing or any questions in reference to this bag whatsoever, drop a message in our comment. Message me, comment in this. I'll answer this. Lizzie will answer it. Monica, Tammy, TT, Lynn. There's so many moderators, so many admins. Samantha herself may answer it, and we'll help you. All right? I will... yes. Oh, so this week we have, I believe, Monica or TT is doing the Hope. And then over in our sibling group, we're going to start cutting out for the Charlotte with Tammy on Wednesday. And on Friday, I will be doing the Julie, which is a pretty fast bag. It's really fun how it's put together, and I can't wait to see it across the feeds. This is the Criss Cross bag, and it's in Samantha's book, Bag Making Masterclass, the complete bag making masterclass. See, notes. And that's it. I love this. Is a good size bag too. This is a perfect. I'm going into the city or whatever. I like this bag, and you, like I said, the possibilities are absolutely endless. I love this inside. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a fantastic week and a great Sunday, and we will be seeing you soon. Okay. Bye. I'm gonna see if I can reach.